Let us experience the joy and intoxication of being in Baba's lap. Baba adopts us and we become his children. He makes us worthy and fortunate. Baba shows us the path of liberation and liberation in life. Even at conference age, we are able to experience this stage of liberation. I must share all good wishes and pure feelings for everyone. Always have inner contentment because we have all attainments from Baba. As much we are free from desires, Baba makes us instrument to serve in unlimited way. So I stay in Baba's company and take directions from Baba for my life. Everything belongs to Baba, so I am detached and free. I know everything will be used in worthwhile way. Let us take drishti from Baba and have determination that we will become like Baba.
अब भी शिव बाबा कहता है, याद परिवर्तन करना भी जब आपको आता है, अभी सिर्फ मुझे याद करो। योग शब्द सुन करके घबराना नहीं, योग पता नहीं क्या है। योग माना याद। मैं आत्मा हूं और शिव बाबा मेरा पिता है। संबंध से याद करना, ऐसे ही नहीं भगवान है, पता नहीं क्या है, हजार सूर्य से तेजोमय है, क्या है, लेकिन मेरा पिता है। देखो, संबंध ऐसी चीज है जो कभी नहीं भूलता है। आपका बच्चा कोई अमेरिका में हो, मानो लंदन में हो, कहाँ भी हो, आपको भूलता है क्या? संबंध है ना। अभी हमारा एक समझो 5 रुपया गिर गया, और दूसरे का ₹1,00,000 गिर गया, क्या याद आपको आएगा? उसका ₹1,00,000 याद आएगा या ₹5? ₹5 याद आएगा ना? क्यों? संबंध है ना मेरे का। इसीलिए शिव बाबा हमको पता है क्या कहता है? शिव बाबा कहता है सिर्फ बाबा नहीं कहो, मेरा बाबा कहो। मेरा मेरा है, पर्सनल भगवान मेरा है। जैसे अर्जुन को था ना, कृष्ण मेरा ही है। तो शिव बाबा हमको कहता है सिर्फ बाबा बाबा नहीं कहो, मेरा बाबा है। तो मेरे के ऊपर अधिकार होता है ना। अभी मैं कहती हूँ मेरा रुमाल है क्या रुमाल? लेकिन मेरा है, गिर जाएगा याद आएगा मेरा, मैं वहां गई थी ना, गिर गया था, मेरा है ना। ऐसे भगवान परमात्मा को मेरा बाबा समझ के, बाबा या पिता को, फादर को, लेकिन मेरा है, अधिकार है मेरा परमात्मा के ऊपर, याद आएगा आपको।
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day second, Murli, source of truth, knowledge, understand, happy. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. It is so wonderful to start this new experiment with Murli. Brother Ken really has given us a very, very simple method how to read Murli, listen to Murli, then practice during day, and also experiment experiences. And it's only 24 hours, but I find really very, very beneficial. I just want to share a little bit on how does it work, because there are some, I think they're trying to still understand what I have to do. So what Brother Ken is telling us, that these 3 words are very often spoken by Baba in the Murli of the day. So you find the connection of these 3 words. And really when you read it with that clarity, when this morning I was listening, then I was reading, I thought that not one sentence, but every word of Baba has great meaning and a very, very big message to give us. And of course, that creates intoxication. Because Baba is our father, our supreme teacher and supreme guide. So it is through Murli that as father, he makes us worthy to claim inheritance. It's through the knowledge, and then of course remembrance and dharana and seva. But all that depends on knowledge. As much you have knowledge clear in your intellect, your remembrance will be natural. And you will be able to inculcate also and do service. All subjects are connected with knowledge. As father, yes, he makes us worthy. As teacher, he makes us earn unlimited, imperishable income through study. And Sadguru shows us the path to our final destination. share many, many secrets with us. Now, as we are making efforts every day, some efforts, some make more, some less, whatever little efforts we make, so our stage is getting better. So when stage is better, then my mind and intellect understand knowledge better. So that means even in that, those words, the meaning, the depth, later on, two other qualities which come in us. One word which is very commonly used for intellect is also called vivek. And vivek is conscience. So awakening of conscience, that means the process of realization begin. Before, if I make a mistake or tell lie or anything, it becomes a habit and I might not feel that I did anything wrong. But then when your conscience is awakened through knowledge, then you immediately realize, no, this is my habit, I shouldn't do it. So you will say, sorry, you will ask Baba to forgive. So realization process really begins when knowledge becomes our conscience. So this morning I was really kind of sitting and trying to experience on that how subtle the soul is, right? A point of light. And within that point of light is intellect, mind, and sanskars. Even just to really try to go into that experience of, so how subtle then the intellect is also. If soul is so subtle, then intellect also must be subtle, right? So when I understand knowledge, as much I understand knowledge, the awakening which happens, not only awakening, but actually enlightenment happens. And then there are three words which we use, in English we say happiness, but then we say supersensive joy. So one word which we use more is called sukh. Baba says sukhdam. I will take you to land of happiness, because that's the only way they could translate. But when we say supersensitive joy, it is same sukh. So dukh is sorrow and sukh is joy, or we say happiness, whatever. So when golden age is the land of happiness, so it's not only really happiness, but there is this inner joy, contentment, not only happy, because then happiness, then sad and happy. And then in golden age, of course, here also we have all attainments, but in golden age we have mind is very peaceful, body is healthy, all resources, comforts are there, good relationships. So we call it land of, again, as I said, sukh, sukh, sukh and dukh. Dukh is sorrow, and sukh, as I said, not only happiness, but like you have everything in the life. So it's very, very joyful life, happy life. So it's so interesting that when I said, today I have, during traffic control, I have to just, as Baba said, dance in joy of knowledge. When I first time went to Baba, The class used to be in the Ishu Dadi's office. We were about 25, 30 of us will sit. And then we moved to History Hall was built. And in History Hall, so when I went first time to Murli, for listening Murli, I was sitting in the second row on sister's side. And Baba pointed and told me to come in the front row. So I said, oh, I moved to the front row. And Baba said, always sit here. And then the same only what I read, I remember Baba says, I want to see children in front or in front of whom I feel like intoxicated because I know that they will go and do service. So I have enthusiasm to have this dance of knowledge. Because, you know, when I'm listening Murli, or it should be like that, it's total concentration. I don't think ever we look on one side or other side because Baba, because there is so much when we are listening to Baba, especially uh, sitting in front of Sakar Baba. So you want to see Baba, you want to see Shiv Baba, you want to, you know, kind of experience and feel God. And of course understand. Because one time Baba was in Delhi and he spoke Murli, then he said, come, he called me. It was quite a big gathering. And he made me sit next to him and said, in 5 minutes, revise Murli. So anyway, I used to listen Murli very attentively. So I had a way to remember Murli, you know, that, okay, 2, 3 points in between. And then, so in 5 minutes, I repeated Murli. Baba says, very good. So I'm just giving example that how Baba wanted us to have total concentration and also ability to capture in such a way that if I have to repeat the points, I can do same time. And many times it happens that as soon as class finish, Murli finish, right? We all get busy, phone calls come or we have to go make breakfast, eat breakfast. And someone calls after 1 hour. What were Murli points? Or let me see, I have to remember. So, but the practice which we're doing now, it is useful because every few hours you are reflecting on one of the point, you are churning on one of the point. Not only that, but experiencing. I am in the lap of God. No? Today's point. Baba has taken me to light from darkness. Baba is establishing uh, the land of happiness, golden aged world for me. So this morning when I said, oh, I have to take at least 5 points which are connected with happiness. So, okay, intellect did work, homework, right? Read Murli, took notes and be ready. But then again, to experience that joy, security, love, protection of God's lap. So many, within 3, 4 minutes, God's lap, you know, I'm in God's lap. So I loved when it is not just I have to think of a point, because then it is just intellect, right? But I understand and then I connect it with happiness that really I felt so good. Baba takes us into light from darkness. So just in your thought, before there was darkness of ignorance, now there is light of knowledge. Now I know what is right and wrong. Now I know that how to remember Baba. I know what are elevated actions. So it's a light, before was darkness. So every point I took to experience that point, practice and experience that point, it was really, really very beneficial. And I got some feedback also from some. They said they are really thrilled. And some definitely wanted to know little more about the process, which I explained them. And they say, oh, now we understand, because how we have to connect these three words. So what I find that, in Lokik world, we say, this one is very educated. This person study a lot, read a lot. But actually means gyan. So we get to stop, a pause, very beneficial. We can think little bit and reflect, digest. So, because sometimes we could intellectually get very busy. I noticed too, like I'm reading, then I'm writing, and I'm really very, very happy about it. But this one is helping us to put in practice also. So as I was saying, one is education, other is study. And third is just knowing, no information, lot of information. But this is knowledge. In Hindi, knowledge is called gyan. And gyan means it's not just any study. They always say, oh, this one is a very gyani soul. So even if we say in English knowledgeable, but gyan is a deeper, it must be like he knows something more about the life. He knows something more on spirituality or on God. So they call it gyan. And then gyan also means samaj, means understanding. And understanding means you are becoming sensible for everything. Because that is what it means. Knowledge is gyan, gyan is samaj, samaj is like sensible. Everyone can have even knowledge. A lot of people read so many scriptures, but they are more scholars and priests. But Gyani means one who understands, one who practices, and also is becoming. So I think that for me, as I said, every word today has so much meaning. I think this is what must be happening with Dadis as their stages were growing. They were practicing. They were making the deeper meaning of every word, even if they are same words. But for them, it was making a deeper meaning because they were on the journey, and this is like getting directions for the path. Like for me, looking at Dadis, the way they decided, the way their stage was, I saw it always my next step. It's not, of course, what they said always is valuable, but just to look at their practical life. So same also will be happening as we are on the journey, we moving forward. So every word which we read will have deeper meaning, significance, and also a direction on my spiritual journey. So I am really enjoying it. I'm sure you all must also be experimenting with it. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So now it's time for us to get our practices for tomorrow. Listen, practice, experience. Would like to invite our dear big brother, Ken. Brother Ken, you had to unmute yourself, please.
Yeah. So you were watching my lips move, but not hearing things. Yeah, I hope you were all enjoying this process. There are many ways of going about it. Didi said that she'd received a bit of feedback. So there are many ways that you could approach this topic, but Baba gave the inspiration to me that make it simple, just really simple. That some of the key words will actually be keys to open the treasure that is in the Murli. And one of the things she was sharing now really touched me, how the beautiful sharing of those elders, how important it is to be personally in front of Baba. These days, we can't do that anymore. I have to take it on board. I have to own it. I have to make it my own. Because, as she said, Baba is the father, the teacher, and the Satguru. And as the father, as the teacher, and as a Satguru, we see every single day in every single Murli. And his insistence that we should follow the path of truth, the path of, Srimad. So this week's theme, as you know, is a soul, and of course, soul consciousness. And you could also, the same Murli, as I said yesterday, you could make the focus God and the relationships and the titles and the things. There are so many ways that we can appreciate the Murli. I once sat down and I worked out 18 ways, but I think there must be about 30 or 40 ways that we can really take the benefit out of the Murli. And those of us had a Christian background in this life anyway. There's a very famous phrase that's at the beginning of in the New Testament, in the book of John, first chapter, first verse. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word is the knowledge. So Baba is the ocean of knowledge. And if I just remain in the concept, like for example, in remembering an experience I had in Peace Village. We were doing a silence retreat, and everyone was sitting around in a circle. And in the middle of the room, in the beautiful, there was an incredible arrangement of flowers. I see there were around about 80 people in the circle. So I was thinking, I am the soul in the middle. And each of these bodies are one of my bodies. I'm not any of my body. That Baba teaches, but really understanding the context. I am that soul that's been around. As I said, there are many ways of appreciating the Murli. And yesterday I said that I was looking at the Murli as a map. Today I was listening to the Murli again. I listened to the Murli, didn't read it to others. I just listened. Someone else was reading. And my consciousness was, Baba is giving me some building material to build my stage, to become like him, actually. And it's the same building material that Brahma Baba received. So we don't know anything different from Baba, Mama, and the Daddies. We have received the same building material, but some have built palaces with that material, and some haven't even, built a shed yet. So it's an incredible gift. what Baba's giving to us. And the map that I was talking about yesterday, you know, to get out of the illusions of devotion and come into the state of knowledge. And today, the building material that Baba's giving me in order to become happy. So that the knowledge is the material, the raw material that I have to work with, but I have to make the intellect work to understand it. So the result is happiness, joy. And of course, understanding or a lack of understanding is a function of the intellect. But we have to not just be intellectual, we have to have the love. Otherwise, how can you be happy if there's no love? So the intellect is the faculty that makes the sense of the things. And so I have to use it to build my stage, to leave myself internally happy and externally happy also. So the practice at traffic controls was to dance internally with the ocean of knowledge by remembering something from the Murli. So I took up, for example, a balance between the hobby of service and the hobby of remembrance. I'm bound, as Baba is, to the drama, but I'm dancing. How can I be dancing if I'm bound? So the attraction to a rubbish-free golden age, the experience of the unlimited inheritance, and the phrase that sort of echoed in my mind today, understand everything from me. And again, I became very happy remembering Brahma Baba's intoxication with Narayan and putting our face towards the day, our feet towards the old world, the new building that's being built up. So there were many things that would make us bubble over in happiness, but we have to make it work and we have to understand the things. And the chart at night, how far did I actually advance in this hobby of remembrance? It's a hobby. It's something that I have a lot of interest in making it work and organizing it, you know, like someone has a hobby of collecting stamps. They do a lot of work to make sure that all of the stamps are looking nice. But here, my hobby is my stage in a way. I have to organize it in such a lovely way. So the Murli for the third, the key words, if you can put them up, put up the chart of the keywords. This is first of all the map, and you can see that again 3 words are sticking out from the rest. I mean, if you put all of the 500 or 600 words in the Murli on one page, these words in, you know, that are larger than the other ones would be still standing out. So it becomes very clear that the key words are remembrance, intellect, and pilgrimage. So again, the intellect, again, I have to understand how to make myself stay on this pilgrimage of remembrance. And so the listening at the time of the Murli, if we can put that one up now. Yeah. The listening at the time of the Murli, what is the connection between using my intellect to strengthen my pilgrimage of remembrance? It's the intellect that has to shape the whole journey. It's the intellect that has to keep us, as Didi was saying, it's partly the vivek, that how conscious am I of what I'm going through? Do I have my brake and everything working so that I can continue on this pilgrimage of remembrance? It never stops, the pilgrimage of remembrance, from every single day, every single minute, every single month, every single year. We're still on the journey of the and of course, if it's a journey, there's a destination. What is the destination? Where do I want to arrive at? So again, the pilgrimage of remembrance as such is such a huge thing. So let me think about the pilgrimage tomorrow and how to use my intellect to strengthen my state of being a pilgrim. And the practice at traffic control everything I do today, everything I do today reminds me that I'm a soul, a pilgrim on a journey to become a complete spiritual lighthouse. So every time I stop for traffic control, I think about something from the Murli that inspires me to stay as the pilgrim, and it's a chance to reaffirm everything. Actually, it's a chance to reaffirm the purpose of what we are doing. As I said, I'm always on a pilgrimage with this destination. The destination doesn't change. I have to become like Baba. The pilgrimage is the same and the method is the same. So every single day, Baba's feeding in something to strengthen that consciousness. And of course, if we're talking about pilgrimages and pilgrims, the experience that I have to check in the chart tomorrow night is how successful a pilgrim I've been, how successful a spiritual pilgrim was I today. Like tonight, when we sit down to put down in our chart, how far did I advance in my hobby of remembrance? Tomorrow night is how successful a spiritual pilgrim I was today. So now if you can put up the Amrit Vela one. This is a quote directly from the Murli. I'm sorry that I'm giving it to you beforehand, but it seems very appropriate. When I sit in remembrance, I remove all the complications of my business, etc., from my intellect and consider myself to be a soul. When I sit in remembrance, I remove all the complications of my business, etc., from my intellect and consider myself to be a soul. So they're the sort of, let's say, the tips. As I said, the way that you'll work out the way that you want to approach it. But I'm just listening for Baba giving me tips about being the best pilgrim that I can be on the pilgrimage of remembrance. So look out for the tips.
Yes. Yeah. Because what I found today that one wants to go sometimes into silence of intellect or silence of mind, but if we are doing something or our intellect is with the administration work or whatever other things, and I want to move to the silence, I found it's not possible unless I start thinking of one of the point of the Murli or keep my mind in some reflection. And as soon as I do it, I can easily go in silence. So I think that this is a very, because otherwise I say, no, I don't have to think. I shouldn't be thinking, but it's not necessarily I'm in silence, right? So I remember Didi Mohini used to say, Man mana bhav. That means as much you keep your mind with knowledge, that much it will be easy to remember Baba also. So there is deep connection of churning, thinking about Murli points with also our stage of silence. That's what today I experienced. I thought I share with all of you. Anyway, thank you, Brother Ken.
Thanks, Sister Mohini. This has been very. I mean, it's been a great experience for myself to really look at the wealth of what Baba's giving us.
So it's like I felt today that I become really a student again in the sense of like you have to study more deeply, more. So it's good feelings. Yeah. Okay, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much, Brother Ken and Didi. It was beautiful and helping us out with the Murli. Now let's Welcome to Awake the Journey, Bab Dada Day, the transformative power of Bab Dada's vision.
भूलेगी न सांसें मेरी माँ तेरी कहानी, भूलेगी न सांसें मेरी माँ तेरी कहानी, भूलेगी न सांसें मेरी माँ तेरी कहानी, तेरी पालना है मीठी गा रही है जिंदगानी, याद कर दिल ये तुमको, प्यार करते माँ हम तुमको, याद कर दिल ये।
अभी तो दिन पड़ा है।
सबने याद भेजा।
सभी को बाप दादा की तरफ से,
जी बोलो।
सभी को बाप दादा की तरफ से,
सबको
हाँ
बाप दादा की तरफ से
हाँ,
पदम गुना बधाया देना।
पद्म गुना बधाइयाँ। अच्छा, सबको सार चारों तरफ क्रिसमस मना रहे हैं ना। इस सेवा बहुत समाई हुई है।
बहुत
क्रिसमस में सेवा समाई, कईयों को निमंत्रण देते हैं, पार्टी
अच्छे। बाप दादा ने कहा ना, सेवा में भी आगे जा रहे,
जी,
अच्छी सेवा कर रहे,
चारों तरफ बहुत अच्छी।
बाप दादा खुश है। जहाँ भी प्रोग्राम चलते हैं
जी जी,
वहाँ सफलता ही सफलता। अच्छे, यहाँ बैठे आप भी उन्हों की सेवा करते हो ना, ये भी अच्छा।
बाबा यही तो प्यार बाबा का। सबको जिम रायन आया है, बहुत अच्छा आया है, सभी नाचने में खुशी में।
बाप दादा यही कहते हैं कि हाथ नहीं रखो, नहीं जाना है।
क्या रखा? क्या
हाथ हाथ नहीं रखो, जाना नहीं है।
जाना नहीं है ना, ये ख्याल नहीं।
नहीं नहीं रखो,
ये नहीं कहो कि आपको नहीं जाना है।
ये नहीं कहूँ नहीं जाना है।
जहाँ आवश्यकता है वहाँ जरूर जाओ।
जहाँ आना है,
देखो, जहाँ आवश्यकता समझो कि जरूरी है, वहाँ जाने की मना नहीं।
जहाँ जरूरी है वहाँ जाने की
तो ये जो संकल्प किया है वो नहीं करो।
जो रथ भी साथ देवे,
बंधन में अपने को नहीं रखो, स्वतंत्र बनो।
बंधन में नहीं रखो।
ये जो बंधन डाला है ना, वो ठीक
ये बंधन डाला है ना, वो नहीं रहो, स्वतंत्र रहो।
एवर रेडी,
एवर रेडी।
जहाँ जरूरत है वहाँ जाने में क्या आवश्यकता है।
फिर कहते हैं तुम कहती हो पर करती वही हो जो तुम करना है, फिर मेरे को लेना देते हैं ना।
ये तो बाप दादा कह रहा है,
बाप दादा ने कहा है।
आपने नहीं।
बाप दादा कहेगा,
समझाओ।
एकदम अपने को बंधन में नहीं रखो।
बंधन
नहीं
में
जाना है,
रखो,
नहीं जाना है, नहीं जाना है।
है, बंधन में नहीं रखो।
बंद नहीं है पर संकल्प है।
संकल्प पूरा हो जाएगा।
संकल्प पूरा हो जाएगा।
Om Shanti. So it's always so nice to listen to Baba, how he interacts, right, and gives directions. That is always followed Baba's Srimad directions. Okay, so
Om Shanti and good night, everyone. Om Shanti.